Before he joined Jamia Millia Islamia in 1999, he worked at the Institute of Applied Manpower Research Planning Commission and Government of India. His area of interest includes South Asian migration and diaspora, Gulf social demography, issues of higher education and minorities. He has published 5 books and over 50 research papers in reputed journals in India and abroad, including his contribution as chapters in edited books by well-known scholars. Dr. Anisur Rahman sir has presented over 70 research papers in several conferences, seminar workshops in India and abroad. He has visited several countries as part of his academic stays in USA, UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, and there are lots of countries. Hong Kong, Switzerland, Denmark, UAE. He also visited Paris, France, and under Indo-France Social Scientist Exchange Program thrice for research in 2010, 2013, and 2015. He has delivered over 100 invited talks at different institutions of higher learning in India and abroad. He is also a member of several academic committees, bodies, and editorial boards. Now, apart from his responsibility at the UGC SRDC, and also he's having responsibility at the Center for West Asian Studies, Jamia, since 2008. So the topic of today is higher education and society, and I think since he has been from sociology background and economics background, and I think we should not have any other person than Prof Anisur Rahman sir to deal with this topic, and it is my kind with great respect and honor, I humbly request Prof Anisur Rahman sir, please engage the sessions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faisal KP, for very brief, very comprehensive and very good introduction by you. I think I'm very, very indebted to you, in fact, and the director and all the colleagues who have given this wonderful chance to share my thoughts and experiences with the galaxy of intellectuals who have joined this program. And we all know pretty well that 8 themes are going to be covered during this 8 days program. So as I am told that now we are in the midst, in the sense that we are halfway through. So almost at least 4 themes must have been covered. So still 4 themes would remain there. If you see the philosophy behind these programs, it's a very novel idea that taking that idea into the mind. This program means NEP orientation and sensitization program has been introduced. And this is not only to a particular, I think, a specific group of the teachers, but it is going to be relevant. It has been made rather interactive or compulsory, almost compulsory to each and every faculty who are basically in the domain of higher education, means from senior to the young ones. And every MMTTC, which is now 127 in number in our own country, is organizing this program in order to cater the all teachers, which is estimated to be in the range of 15 lakhs or more than 15 lakhs, 15 to 18 lakhs faculty or the teachers or the higher education teachers are there in our own system of higher education, which is considered to be one of the 3rd largest system in the world. Just after United States of America and the China, our system is in place. But again, there is a serious catch or the issue that what is the status of higher education in terms of the quality, even in terms of the quantity. If you see the requirement of our own country, I think we need to do a lot. So, taking the objectives of NEP, National Education Policy 2020 has been taken into consideration while deciding this program in order to make that National Education Policy implementable. Of course, technically speaking, I think that program has already been in place, that has been implemented. But how our country, our nation, our society is going to be benefited more and more on account of its implementation of the National Education Policy. So it is a well thought, I think, a scheme as to make each and every teacher aware of the relevance, importance, and significance of national education policy, because it is a roadmap to which it is going to decide the fate of these great nations. And this policy is going to stay for at least 20 years, as it has happened in the past. After the gap of 34 years or 35, means 3.5 decades almost, after the gap, this policy has been enacted, this policy has been formulated, and many experts have been what we call it brought together in order to finalize the national education policy, and it all took 5 years to formalize or to familiarize or to finalize this national education policy. So I think every stakeholder of higher education was involved in order to formulate, because many times it was placed in the public domain for getting the feedback from each and every stakeholder of education. I think from a state till even the students, or the, of course, teachers are also were considered to be very important component at that time while formulating this. So we, the teachers, have also gave a lot of input in order to formulate this policy in a more stronger way. So I will refer many times when it is required that what are the milestones, what are the recommendations that has been made in this national education policy. So what basically center around that how this policy is going to be implemented in true sense of the term or in literary spirit, so our society could be made rather stronger and stronger. So this is taking that way into the mind. I think this policy has been formulated, and we all know the importance and significance of education as a whole. Only for administrative purpose, some purpose, we have been compartmentalized the education into three layers: primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. Since we all deal with the affairs of higher education, hence it becomes very necessary and important to discuss this higher education. What are the pitfalls? What are the shortcomings? Because today, in this scenario, in the very complex scenario, I think the whole world has been globalized in many ways. So how we are going to reap the benefits of the globalized economy, globalized society, because it has also brought a lot of challenges along with many opportunities. So how we can reap the benefits, how we can grab the opportunities brought by this transformation of technology and free flow of goods and services. So how we are going to take all this into the positive direction, and how we as a teacher can be able to transform this or what we call challenges, how we will be able to transform these challenges into the opportunity is a big task, or is a big responsibility of the higher education. Taking that wave into the mind, if you see all these things like higher education and society. So what is the role of higher education uh, in making a society a better society, developed society, progressive society, and all, I mean, social evils which are plaguing the society could be eradicated, could be removed with the help of rightful kind of education, and more specifically the higher education. So we will try to understand what is the connection between higher education on one hand, on the other hand society, how this higher education is going to develop the society in such a way that inequality, poverty, unemployment could be eradicated from the society. So we will discuss in great length. So here we all know that 8 themes like multidisciplinary and what we call it holistic education, and of course Indian knowledge system, research and development. If you see all the skill development, why skill development has become the need of the day today. So I think before going further, and I am having some of the PPT slides, so definitely with the help of the slides, so that we should not digress elsewhere, we will focus on. But let me try to grab or what we call assimilate or just point out or flag you what are the major, I think, challenges or the opportunity to be before all of us. You must have heard every day we are hearing and listening and we are witnessing and we are also making a lot of research in this area that India is a country of villages. At the same time, now the India is a country of uh, uh, population, means huge population, means now very recently, I think India has replaced China in terms of the population. India has become the most populous country on the world. So, what kind of challenges it has brought to our own society specifically, we need to deal with. And when we discuss the population or the growth of population like a population explosion, rapid growth of population. So all of a sudden it goes to our mind that population is a bad thing, or or it is a liability, in fact, because growth of population is very rapid, and how to manage the population and how to govern the population is a big task. So managing the population in a better way or governing the population in a better way has become the great challenge. So when we discuss this population in our own country, we all know pretty well that there's a silver line that is existing in our own country, means in terms of the population. As we say that India is a stage or is in a stage of demographic dividend, or India is a country of youths, India is a country of young population, to which we often say that population could be categorized into different, like the child or the adolescent, and then working age group, and of course, old age population. So if you see the total size or the share of working age population in our country, that is the biggest one. That biggest chunk of the population falls into the category of the youth, means what we call demographic in working age. So almost 66%, 66 to 70% of the population falls into the category of the age group of 15 to 35, or at most 40. So India is a young country, means if you see the average age of population in our own country, it is estimated to be in the range, or it is roughly speaking 28%. So it is a silver lining in the sense that if we will be able to convert this population into the human capital or the human resource, it will become the big assets. As we see or we have seen, we have witnessed in case of Asian tigers like Singapore, even South Korea, Vietnam, and many more countries have been benefited in the past, or they have reaped the benefits of the demographic dividend in their own countries. So why they are all are called Asian tigers, we all know pretty well. So it is now the turn, and we the nation, we the Indian countries are passing through that stage. Means we are sitting on the pool of resources, potential human capital. So it's a big challenge, and and why this kind of program has been organized, so that we should accept this challenge and try to convert this challenge into the opportunity. And how we can do it? It could be only done by providing the education, and of course skills and training, and of course healthcare facilities. And already we know that our role is very very significant. Of course the other stakeholders stakeholder, I think responsibilities is also important, like the state, like the top level management, administrative staff, support staff. Everybody needs to play their role in formulating or in basically translating this population into the human capital or the human resource. Hence, lot of emphasis has been given in the sector, should be given. Let me tell you, should be given. I'm saying that should be given. And how it could be made possible if we the teacher, we have now the policy, whatever the policy, whether you need to be critical, or but there's some aspects of the that policy is extremely, I think, appreciable. So despite its limitation, so how we are going to implement, how we are going to facilitate, how we are going to contribute our might or our contribution, that is very important. Taking that view into the mind, I think this kind of program is being organized by all MMTTC, means Malvianis and Teachers Training Center. And we all are going to be empowered. We all are going to be sensitized. We all are going to be motivated. We all are going to be inspired. So inspiration, motivation, these all issues, these all, I think, virtues become very important. What is the role of a teacher? That the role of the teacher now is to inspire the students or the young minds. Once they are inspired, I think they will, or of course, by our own content. How we can inspire the students? Only by our very positive role, by our scholarship, by our own innovation, by our own style. I think we will be able to inspire our students so that they could start contributing positively in the progress and development of the society, of our own society. And we know pretty well that where do we stand at the global level. And education has the potential, as it is said, and education is the panacea for all social evils, social ills. So only by virtue of education, I think we can do wonders. So let me now, you give me a minute, so that I hope that you all are listening to me. हमारी बात आप लोगों के पास पहुंच रही है. और I will be very glad if you
Yes,
open
sir.
your, I think I will be very glad, and I will feel rather encouraged if you open your video. I think if I see your face or your picture, so it would be very encouraging if possible. I think it would be made possible as I have opened my video. So don't open your, unmute your audio, but I think it will be very encouraging for me if you can, what we call it, open your, or unmute your video, because nobody has on, they have on their video. So it would be very encouraging. So let me now proceed further. And I think 20, 30 minutes are good enough for you. इतने टाइम काफी है आप लोगों के लिए, so that I could spare. Since I have spent a lot of time in the then HRDC, which has been now called as MMTTC, so I know your requirement, I know your aspiration, I know what kind of expectations you are holding from my part. So I will try my level best to come up to your expectation. There's no doubt about that. So what basically I am going to discuss with you, that the relation between higher education and society, how higher education is going to propel, how education is going to become the catalyst, especially education, or especially higher education is going to become the catalyst for the development, innovation, and growth of society, and what kind of society we are having, and what kind of society we are desiring in days to come or in future. And we all know that it has been discussed, and there's our country is a vision, long dream, that by 2047 this country is going to become the developed nation, means Vikshit Bharat. So I think idea is good, vision is appreciable, but how it could be translated is a question mark, or is a what kind of strategy we all are going to follow from our part, from every part, so that we could see the realization of this great vision, of this great what we call the dream. How this dream could be brought into the reality is again, I think, moot question, and we need to contest, and we need to see, means we need to we have the consensus that that is a very good idea, and vision should be like that. But how, what kind of a strategy we should adopt so that we could achieve these targets? So this is the target, aims and objectives. So how we are going to play our very proactive role? Of course, we are playing. so that dream could be brought into the reality. This is the dream of everybody, every nation, every national. So this is again very important. So we will see, since we are one of the very important stakeholders in the total what we call the stakeholders of higher education, and it has been well acknowledged in the national education policy also, that the role of a teacher is very prominent, as it is said that the destiny of any society or the future of any country or any society is basically created in the classroom. So we are in fact considered to be the destiny maker of the society. So we can what we create the society, innovative society, scientific society, progressive society, which can match or which can be brought at par with any developed nation. So it's a challenge, or it's an opportunity, it's a roadmap, it's a way forward. So society is expecting a lot on our part. So what kind of role we all are going to play? Of course we are, but there's a need to play rather more and more role, so that we our actions, our deeds could be realized or could be appreciated. Since the teachers, already I have said and everybody has agreed that they are basically the what will torch bearer for the society. So how we are going to show the roadmap, how we are going to guide the society, which would be taken in the right direction, positive direction. So this is taking this kind of background. So let me now open my PPT or the slide to discuss with you one by one. But I am sure that you would have many questions. So at the end of the deliberation, definitely I will spare some of the time. But I'm still wondering how much time do you need? I don't know. But if you take 20, 25 minutes, I will spare. And if the time, I think thereafter there won't be any lecture. I think this is the first lecture or second lecture.
No, sir, this is the last lecture.
Okay,
That is
last lecture.
of the
So
day, sir.
of this day, this is the last. So
Of this
if
day, yes, sir.
oh, great, great. So there is no any kind of impediments thereafter. If you will be able to sustain, if you like it, you will go beyond. But definitely, I'm going to give at least 20, 25 minutes. So I will be extremely happy if you raise some of the questions, because in the beauty, in the domain of social sciences or the humanities, the beauty of this kind of exercise and discussion is to we all have agreed to disagree, and everything is tentative or contestable. So we I think university or the teachers, the function of teachers is to debate on all the issues, so that we could seek or we could see for some possible solution. So you give me a minute, please. I hope it is fine. It's going well, and you are listening to me. We are connecting to each other. So our connection is important. Connection means whether you are attentively, whether I have engaged you or not. So if you give your own input, would be very important one. And we all know that today's, in this complex society or contemporary times, I think we need to become interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. The mandate of this kind of program is to think beyond our own specific knowledge, and beyond our subject or subject or a specific subject. So what basically we are going to bind over here is that to know something beyond our own subject. That has become the need of the day, and this kind of platform provides a wonderful opportunity to all of us to learn from each other, because we all belong to almost different conventions or discipline, but we all are working in order to ensure quality or enhance quality in the domain of higher education. Ultimately, basically, we all are there to provide the possible solution to the problems in the society, so that we can think of a better society, or equitable society, or peaceful society, or just society. So we will see the problems, challenges, and we will also try to seek some sort of possible solution or reach towards possible solutions. So you give me a minute, please. I hope this is fine. ठीक है ये? I
Yes,
hope
sir.
this is okay.
Yes, sir.
So we are going to discuss about this. Just I have taken many quotations are there. We all know. Just to re-emphasize, education is the most powerful weapon or the tool which we can use to change the world or to change the society. And how the society is changing in today's scenario, we know all that, because change is extremely rapid. If you see the change which has taken place during the last 20 or 30 years, I think if you measure this volume of change, I think you would not find the change or the quantum of change for the last 3 or 4 centuries. So a decade change would be equivalent to century change. That much change. So now we are living in 21st century, chat GPT or artificial intelligence era. So innovation, development has become inevitable. So lot of challenges it has been created. So in this scenario or in this contemporary age, we need to make ourselves relevant. How we can become the agent for change, how we can become the catalyst for bringing the change, then our society could. So education is the most powerful beautiful thing about learning. And when we talk of education means learning, that is throughout of our life. So learning that no one can take it away from you. So if I am rich today, it might be possible that tomorrow I will become bigger, I will become poor. I think this kind of empirical evidence we have seen. So if I have on education, if I have been educated, means enlightenment it has come, then nobody will take away. So it cannot be stolen. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace. So when we talk of peace, when we talk of stability, I think this is the what ultimate aim and objective of any society, even for human being. See, a lot of conflicts are still going on, and we are living in the 21st century. Over there, we consider that we are the most civilized nation on the earth. We are claiming, but see, many conflict, many wars are still going on. So it is the blot on the humanity. It is the blot on the international community, global society to which we all claim that. I think we need to work and we need to think. We need to reorient ourselves as how to work for the benefit of the society, which would ultimately lead to peace, stability, and happiness. How this could be made possible? So this is the aim. Taking this aim into the means peace, stability, not only in one part of the world, but in all parts of the world to which you have, because we have become global society or the global citizen. Let me put it in this way that. If you see the objectives of this national education policy, one of the I think objective is to create, or we are going to prepare the citizen which would be global citizen in their own thought processes or orientation. So we are basically going to produce the global citizen, not only the very local kind of things. So how our students are going to be relevant globally, to which we need to think, and our syllabus, our transaction of knowledge, or our course curriculum would be created or would be formulated in such a way that we can think of these kind of things. As we all know that if anything happens in any part of the world today, I think with the fraction of second we get to know. So these kind of rapid free flow of goods and services, and not only this, free mobility. So mobility has become the inevitability in the contemporary society. So what is the mission of higher education? What is the objective of higher education? We need to discuss this issue is again very important. So let us proceed further. What is the philosophy of higher education? Of course, already I have discussed with you in a generalistic kind of thing is education. When we talk of education is the most powerful, there's no doubt about that. So if our research development everything is going to be rapid and robust and in a very strong way, I think this is going to create this is going to help the society in a better way. So what is basically the mission or vision of higher education which will be applicable to each and every society? Let me tell you. So basically, what are the four pillars on which we all the time center around? Knowledge enhancement, knowledge creation. As we say that sometimes we use this word that university is the industry. So here, my purpose is not to say that university or colleges are the should be treated as the industry, but basically it is the place where knowledge is created, where perspective is created, innovation, discovery. I think enhancement of knowledge, generation of knowledge. This is all going to happen, and this has happened, and this would remain happen uh, in the domain of knowledge or the higher education institutions. So the second one is to seek truth or seeking truth means establishing truth with the help of research, with the help of our own ideas, and we try to challenge the existing reality sometimes, and we try to re-examine. And this all happens in the university, colleges, and promoting critical thinking when we will be able to create means whatever the things are existing unless until we see these things from our own perspective, from our own lens, I think things will not go. See, uh, whenever scientists or the thinkers have started challenging the very existing ideas, so the uh, more ideas were generated or germinated, conserving or preserving culture and civilization. So broadly speaking, these are the four pillars on which basically higher education works. So taking this issue into the mind, what is the role of higher education in society? Since our job, our responsibility to establish the relationship between higher education would be considered as one of the determining factor and determined factor or the variable is the society. So what kind of impact basically higher education is expected to have on different aspects of the society, like polity, society, economy. So how we all know that higher education, how is so? What are the challenges basically to which higher education is expected to um, uh, address? So we all know that changing world, changing society has become the need. Not only need, has become inevitable. We cannot stop change. Change is always considered to be the permanent. Means only thing that is considered to be permanent is the change. So it is dynamic, so world dynamic society. So it how we are going to move the society, how we are going to take the society in the positive direction is again very important. Second one is we are going to discuss what are the purposes or the aims of higher education, and we will also discuss five key roles of higher education. So taking this view into changing society, we all know that it is so rapid that globalization has made it that leads to the rise of international trade. I think that has been happening, but now it has become very rapid. And this is also desirable. Let me tell you, this is desirable, like human mobility. Human mobility, the role of media, everything, digital technology, transfer of digital technology and finance. I think how we are going to see, if you see the entire world, I think in some parts of the world, I think there is development, good development, desirable development, but some of the parts, if you see, so in some of the society, I think starvation to death is taking place. When that, as we call that first world, and the developed countries, developing countries, least developed countries, undeveloped countries. So we have been categorized. So how we will be able to convert the whole society in the equal place? That is the desirable part. And I think higher education can play and has played a very prominent role in order to level it, to bring the society at level. And we all, let me now refer it to you that at the turn of the century, what happened actually, one in 93 or 94 countries, that is the member, they all are the member of United Nations. They assembled together at the UN, and they decided that let us try to work together in order to eradicate the social evils from the society, like poverty. There are some in some countries having a lot of poverty, unemployment, inequality, gender inequality, and what we call a climate change has also created a lot of problems. So 8 millennium goals. So all countries of the world decided to work together and individually at the individual level and even at the collective level. If we see all these 8 goals, I think we will be able to understand. And every country of the world tried to eradicate the poverty from their own country, taking the help of other countries. And we have made some headway. Of course, it is not all over because the poverty is still going on, inequality is going on. But we cannot say that it is complete failure. So what happened in 2015? Because from 2000 to 2015, that was the perspective aim. So thereafter, in 2015, again these countries assembled together, and all the issues were repackaged, and it was said that 17, I think, millennium what we call it, sustainable development goals. So last goal of the sustainable development is to work together or to have the collaboration in order to meet the challenges or in order to overcome the challenges. So why I'm bringing all these issues? Because the purpose of the global society, the purpose of the global citizen is to eradicate all the social evils and the ills from the society. And we all, I'm just pointing out one thing. If you see the total population of the world, that is rising in a big way. But at the same time, we have also the resources. So how we are going to use the resources for the benefit of the society or for developing the society so that there would be no any kind of poverty, there would be no any kind of inequality. So women constitute, even at the global level, 50%. But if you see the situation of the women, I think that is very pathetic. Even globally, let me tell you, I think their presentation is not 50%. So they are relegated to the background. So how we can, because taking that stability and peace into the mind, unless until we work to make our society from country to country or is at the specific level, even at the university level, as how to make or convert our society that would be gender sensitive society. How we are going to take gender or the women into the consideration so that they could contribute prominently, as they have been relegated to the background, they have not been given the chance. So like that, if you see our own society, we also know that there are some sections of the society which are deprived. And when we talk of I'm just pointing at gross, take the example of the gross enrollment ratio in our own country. I think 15 or 20 years before, it was very pathetic. Hardly 10% gross enrollment ratio was existing in our was there. So at that in 2005 or 6, many committee were constituted in order to understand as how to enhance the gross enrollment ratio. So many ideas were. So what basically I'm going to tell you that if you see the total or the average gross ratio in our own country is estimated to be around 25 to 26, 27%. And in this national education policy, it is clearly said that we need to raise or to enhance the gross enrollment ratio from 26 or 27% to 50%, I mean plus 50% has become the target in this. So it is pointed, it is recommended very prominently, and it has been said that we need to formulate the strategy in order to achieve this target of this objective, in order to meet this objective. So we have been taken to the task as to work like we need to go by hybrid, means digital, or what we have blended learning has been adopted in order to increase. But again, here is a serious catch in the sense that online is not so effective. One point. The other one is that we are dealing with a society which is differentiated in terms of the gender. Women are not, their share is not that much as it is desirable on the part of the society. Means all the important positions have been held by the only one social category, men. So how we are going to deal, and the optimization of our own human resources is also very important, or to look into the era or into the future, that how we are going to work so that which the society would be gender free society, or equitable society, or just society, or social justice based society. So we all are working, and we all should work. So what basically I am interested to, only by increasing the gross enrollment ratio, our country is not going to be benefited, because unless until we talk of inclusive gross enrollment ratio, or inclusive growth, or inclusive mind, or inclusive approach. So that is also needed for dealing the students in the class, as how we our approach would be all inclusive in the class is also very important. So here let me now discuss with you that change has become, the change is inevitable, we cannot escape, but according to the time, place, condition, and changing scenario, we need to be adaptable. Means we need to change ourselves very fast, or at least with the requirement of the society. Then we can take our society, our country at par with the other countries of the world. So the purposes of higher education, scientific development, and everything is very much possible. So only by innovation, or enlightenment, or debate, discussion is basically the aims and the objectives of higher education. So what is the, I think you must know the mission and the vision of your college or the university. So we all are working in the large, at large, if you see, or at the grand level, at the broader level. Basically, we all are working on the purpose of a university is to create society which would be just society, equitable society, or what we call it, a developed society. Over there won't be any kind of issues that would be left. So higher education is a rich cultural and scientific assets. It is innovation, scientific assets, and basically it enables personal development, and it also promotes economic, technological, and social change. We all know that. I think education, as we see that what is the purpose, as it is considered to be the important tool. Means education is considered to be very important tools through which social change, social transformation, even technological change is possible. And what basically it provides the opportunity that we can be able to exchange our knowledge, whatever the knowledge we have on research, innovation, and equips students within the skills needed to meet our changing labor market. I am giving you one example. What was the requirement of the pre-pandemic society? I think things have changed. So the requirement of the society, the requirement of the labor market, national labor market, global market has changed enormously. So it is the function, it is the role of a teacher, like of all of us, to understand the requirement of the society in days to come, or in foreseeable future, and accordingly we need to make our syllabus in such a way that we will be able to produce our students, our young minds, who would be basically relevant for tomorrow's market. When we say tomorrow's market is in the future, If we will not be able to deliver this good in this way, I think we are going to be left behind. So we are leaving behind. So if we are going to contribute or is going to raise the standard of the university or to raise the status of our own society, of our own country, we need to understand the foreseeable future. What kind of labor requirement, what kind of skills are needed basically. Again, I'm giving you one example. Our Indian workers or our human capital is working, or we have supplied our human capital to different parts of the world. If you consider diaspora, I think it is considered to be, uh, um, 32 million. And if you consider the human capital, 18 to 20 million, I think Indian or human capital is working. And I will be very happy to share with you that India has acquired the first position in terms of receipt of the remittances. India is receiving a huge amount. If you see the latest data provided by the World Bank, 125 billion US dollar India has received recently in 2023. So how we are going to face this momentum? Because when we receive these remittances, I think it is going to, or it is going to, it is helping a lot in order to eradicate poverty or to reduce unemployment in our own country. So here is a chance. Means we have a lot of working population. So if we will be able to, which is the need of the time, in the sense that if we are going to fail our duty in that way, means if we are not going to convert this human population or the young population into the human capital, after 25 years down, 25 or 30 years down the line, same kind of population will fall into the category of the old age, and it will become the liability for this nation. So it's a golden chance, golden opportunity for our country, for our nation, to use. As I say, that many Asian tigers, Southeast Asian countries have done wonderful job. So why don't we reap this benefit? Why don't we grab this opportunity, golden opportunity, to convert this population or translate this population into the human capital, and we will be able to supply the human capital, human resource to different parts of the world, wherever they are required, wherever there is a demand, we will be able to fulfill. So right now, 19 million, 90 lakhs Indians are working in the GCC countries. So 50% remittances is coming from that region, and 50% is the rest of the world. So here is an opportunity, and here is a potential that we need to work, and that could be only made possible if we start our proactive role, or we can, if we convert this population. And already I have told you that for this, quality education has become the need. Here again, I would like to share with you that you must have gone through that a lot of Indians in lakhs are leaving our country, and they are going to join the European university, especially through Germany, and then many more countries in the United States of America, Australia, New Zealand. So the students who are going to the different parts of the world, thinking that if they acquire education from there, their future would be bright. So what is my take over here is that gone are the days, or in the ancient times, we have had a very prominent university like Taxila, and then Vikramshila, Nalanda. So lot of foreign scholars used to come to India to acquire education. And now the situation has become reversed. So we as a teacher need to work in this direction, so that we can be able to retain our students in our own system. Unless until we do this kind of exercise, means unless until we raise the standard of higher education, if in terms of the quality or even quantity, access to education to everybody. Now it is said in the, I think it is the trademark, or it is punchline that has been written in the university grounds, education for all. But whatever the education, I think educational institutions are available in our own country. They are not good enough. They are not educated enough. So taking that way into the mind, we are thinking to raise the standard in order to provide the access to the education. I think 50% I think target has been taken into account in this national education policy. By 2035, we are going to raise this ratio from 26 27% to 50%. And already I have flagged and I have said that even within that, only by raising these things are not going to be in the positive direction. So we need to see the gender issue. We need to see the deprivation section of the society. See, our country is a country of villages. Majority of the population lives in the rural areas, and they are not able to send their children, means daughters or the sons, to education, to the urban areas or the cities, due to the lack of funds, due to lack of money, and they are poor, so they are not able to send. So here again, it becomes very important that unless until we think of global development or what inclusive development or inclusive growth, we need to take into the account. Then we can be able to see this kind of situation. So let us now proceed further. What is the other role of higher education? So in the context, we need to understand, like higher education must necessarily intersect or effectively engage with the economic and social challenges at the local, national, regional, continental, and the global level. Already, I have talked a lot about how the university is going to, higher education is going to face the challenge. So challenges are the local, at the university level, the community which is surrounding your university, we need to see, and the national level we all understand, and then Asia or South Asia as a whole, of course Asia, South Asia, and then we talk about the global South and global North. So the whole world is divided or compartmentalized into, I think if you see the global North, they are much developed as compared to global South. So we need to work our policy level, even our at our action level, we need to see. And of course challenges are many in the sense that economic growth and the development, ability to compete globally, job creation and reduction or elimination of unemployment and the poor, effective delivery system. So this is the role to which higher education is expected in order to meet the challenge. And how, when we talk of higher education, means we the teachers, we the faculty, we the intellectuals, we the prominent figure or the central figure in the center stage of education are going to work. And of course, what are the challenges? As we all know that means like gender inequality is a challenge, deprivation of social section of the society is a challenge, and economic growth, inclusive economic growth or the social progress is the aims and objectives. So what kind of approach we are going to adopt, what kind of style we are going to adopt, so that we will be able to convert this challenge into the opportunity, like imperatives of equity and redress, social justice, democratization of the state and society, building of a culture of human rights. Take the example of national human rights commissions are there, human rights watch is there, so international amnesty is there. So basically violation, and I'm referring one thing. When we see that lot of remittances we have received, and we are getting it on account of the outflow of the human capital or the human resource or our Indians who are working. But what happens, at what cost? How their rights are violated? So what we are doing in order to ensure their rights or to promote their, I think, welfare is also the responsibility of all of us, state, all of us, to see or to look into the, I think, welfare of the human. I think uh, we need to become a human in that way. So in order to, so many national or at the international level, many agencies are working, but there is a need to strengthen. So how we will be able to work so that a state could be democratized? Means when we say that democratization means decentralization of the society, how the power could be dealt into the local level, means decentralization of power, decentralization of authority. And this could be only possible if we are going to educate the population. And democracy is only substantial democracy, or can get matured when the population of that society would be educated, or they would be made aware. Otherwise it will be only electoral democracy. If you see the I think culture of democracy in South Asia or developing nation and developed nation, we will find a lot of differences. So we need to see all these challenges, that how we as a faculty, how we as an intellectual or the higher education stakeholder, higher education is working in this direction, so that we can understand the requirement of the society. So uh, I hope you all are listening to me. Just give
Yes,
me the
sir.
Yes, sir.
feedback. ठीक है ना, सुन रहे हो ना आप लोग? Okay. Otherwise, we are not saying to each other. So it is interesting to note that the high. Our tenure would continue. Means our discussion will continue till 7, I guess. I'm right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will. My God. So it is going to be only till 7. Our things would be there. I So you give me 15 minutes, and then I think how much time is 6:32, 6:30. So can we prolong it a little bit? Nobody
Okay,
is
sir.
there. Huh? So anyway,
Okay, sir.
I
You
will.
can.
Huh? So I will. You give me only 10 to 15 minutes. Why I would wind up. Otherwise, I will keep speaking. So that should not be, I think, there. So it is interesting to know higher education must also be guided by and embodies a specific principles and values. Basically, the purpose of higher education is to cultivate or inculcate. These are the principles, means equity and quality, means how we can how higher education is going to strengthen equity and quality, enhance quality. Social development, not only economic development, but the social development is very important. And how higher education is going to provide the platform, provide the environment where democratization would be speeded up. Academic freedom, unless until we have the academic freedom, I think we cannot, I think, come with our own innovation or our discovery or some sort of new ideas and thoughts. Effectiveness and efficiency, institutional autonomy, I think, and public accountability again is very, very important. So this is all can be made possible if we are going to strengthen the culture of higher education. Then research is also very much possible. So here, 5 key roles of higher education. So to cultivate educated persons, research and scholarship, engagement with the intellectual and the cultural life of society, and of course democracy and citizenship, and development needs and the challenges. So these are the issues. So already I have discussed with you how globalization has impacted higher education. I am just sharing one thing. When our economy was started liberalizing from 1991, since then, if you see, I think many acts were passed, and thereafter private university came into being. Means private university came into being in order to see the requirement of our own country. So if you see out of total, what is the, I think, total size of the university today is estimated to be around 1200 plus, including the private university. Almost 50 to 55% universities belong to the sector of private university. Of course, it also regulated by the UGC. But if you see the privatization of the university, privatization of education, higher education, so it is coming in a big way. And very recently, I think you must be aware that foreign universities have been allowed. They are going to establish their own campus in India. So I don't worry about that. What my observation and my recommendation that let us try to make our public institutions stronger, and there will be healthy competition between the two for the benefit of the society as a whole. So basically, in the globalized economy, these are the issues we need to take. Means holistic curriculum development we need to develop, and there should be emphasis on soft skills. We have the engineering, we have technical people, we have many kind of like MPhil, PhD, masters, technical education. Along with that, in order to meet the challenges, that soft skills must be taken into account. It has already been taken into account in many countries. So here now it has come the time for our own country to give the, means how leadership or interpersonal skills, communication skills. Unless until we are going to learn this in a big way, I think we will not be able to understand this. Experiential learning, as we all say that vocational education skills, learning while earning while learning. I think this has become the global exposure. So in this globalized village, in this globalized area, how we are going to have the exposure of different universities, I think it has become easier. Lifelong learning and skill upgradation. Unless until we are going to upgrade, because now we talk of learning, relearning, de-learning, and relearning. Means learning, de-learning, and relearning. Means whatever I have learned today, it is going to be obsolete tomorrow. It might be possible, as we say that pandemic has struck the entire world. So lot change has taken place. So need for the training of academic staff college has become the need of this. So quality insurance has become that. So how we are going to motivate and support professional culture are essential in building excellence. For building excellence or bringing excellence, I think this has become the need of the day. And this could be only possible by frequent kind of exposure, by holding seminars, symposium, or this kind of program. So how it could be made possible, in the sense that in order to ensure quality in higher education is important. So what kind of a strategy? I think if you see the today an IQAC, every university, every college is having. So already I have discussed all these things. So here, I think I'm not going to, I will provide this PPT. So what are the challenges already we have discussed? As we all know, that for the last 75 years, we have been saying that 6% of the GDP would be spent for education as a whole, but it has never happened. Even in first national education policy, it was said. Again in 86 policy, last policy, again in this policy, it has been said. Why I'm saying, so that we the teachers should come with our own idea. Why we are not doing it? So we are not giving priority to education and the health. The other side is that, so we the intellectuals should come with our own ideas. What basically we should do in order to achieve this kind of target. So here I will already have discussed how women have been relegated their share is not that much in politics, not in economics, even not in the labor force. So if we are not going to deal with this, we are losing our resources. So optimum utilization of the resources I think this is very important. Technological change affects all disciplines, no doubt about that. So there's a need to improve women's participation at the top level position. See, in Aligarh Muslim University, sometime before Jamia Millia Islamia and then JNU, or in many university. So for the history of 100 years old, so one woman vice chancellor. So if you see the total number of the vice chancellor, at least 10 to 15 vice chancellors. So out of 10 and 15, so one vice chancellor. So sometimes we appraise first one vice chancellor. So it's not a point of celebration, rather it's a point of lamenting this issue that we have been denied, and we have been denying the thing, what we call the responsibility. We have shirked from the responsibility, that we have not taken the 50% sections of the society into the consideration so far. And what is the changing demands of the labor market? So again, this is very important, that we need to work according to that. Then we will be able to uh, achieve the target or the aims and objectives of our society. So only by, I think, saying is not good enough. So issues of what are the challenges before us? We all know that there's a inadequate infrastructural facilities. Faculty crunch means faculty shortage are there. Low enrollment ratio, overcrowded classroom, gender and ethnic. Already I have discussed, and very less share of research from the university and higher education institution. So we need to ameliorate, we need to, I think, unless until financial. And what is the status of research in our own country? Just have a look. Means in our own country, 216 only per million population today, and 0.6% of the GDP we are spending. See the case of European university. France spends 2.25% of its GDP on research. United States is spending 2.7%, 2.74%. And if you see the ratio, 4,300 researchers per million population in these countries. And see the China, to which we are trying to compete and we should compete, it spends 2.11% and 1,200 researchers per million. So very important. If you see the case, expenditure, public expenditure in South Korea, 8%. In case of Malaysia, 9 to 10%. If you see in these countries, more than 6% they are spending. So why I am highlighting that? So that we as a teacher make our research in this area in order to involve. So in order to meet all these challenges, instead, not only the teachers, there should be a change, and some change and something should come on the part of the top level management, state and other stakeholders are equally important. And of course, in this changing scenario, there should be need for inter-institutional cooperation, and there should be institutions role in international national development and its contribution in local community. As we all know, sometimes some universities adopted some of the villages in order to understand the real situation. And basically on the part of the teacher, what we need to do it, there should be awareness and understanding of different ways in which we try to understand the students, how students are. So there should be commitment to a scholarship in this discipline. And of course, the knowledge of IT is become. And as a research, again, following skills are required by all of us. Means as how to develop a good research proposal, so that we will be able to continue our research. As we all know, it has become the need today. Means unless until we make research, I think we are not going to be left out. And our university, our society is not going to do much, make much headway. So we need to see this thing is making higher education global competitive of our own. I'm talking regulating the entry of the foreign university, setting quality standards, providing financial support for internationalization, promoting international collaboration. So these all things are very important. So last means there should be coordinated effort which is required on the part of each stakeholder to bring excellence in higher education. So it has become the need of the day to day. Government means the state must create an enabling environment for Indian universities to thrive globally. As we all know, 1,200 universities are there, and we know when our university is evaluated at the global level, we all understand where do we stand amongst the top 1,000, amongst the top 100. Where do we figure? We need to check, and we know so lot needs to be done on the part of everybody. Then it would be the power of globalization must be harnessed. Means the benefit of globalization must be harnessed, means must be tapped in order to enhance the quality in the higher education system. As we say that we are the third largest system. But so far the case of quality is concerned, there is serious catch, there is serious problem. So we as a very important stakeholder of higher education, we need to contribute in terms of transaction of the knowledge, delivery, and at the same time, innovation of new ideas, new perspective. And NRF is going to be established again, and it is a promise on the part of the state that there will be enough money will be given to continue our research and to understand, to contribute in our research. So forward looking and collaborative partnership in this very global has become very important, that must be promoted. Then India can emerge as a center of global knowledge hub, because we are sitting on the pool of resources in the human capital, potential human capital or the human resource is there. So how we are going to capitalize, how we are going to translate, how we are going to educate, how we are going to provide the skills, and how we are going to provide the welfare of this population. If we will not do it, definitely this will not be in the interest of our own country. So thank you so much indeed. I think we have running shortage of time. So let us now try to take up some of the question. And I think there is no any kind of lecture, so we can go a little bit further. So thank you so much indeed. That I'm so sorry that I have only spoken so far, and time is not much left officially speaking. So already we have the agreement that whatever the question you have, I will be extremely happy to take up your question, and I will try my level best to come up to your question, come up to your expectation, in the sense that at least I can make an attempt to answer your question. But I will feel extremely happy if you pose some any type of question. Thank you so much indeed to everybody, especially to the director, coordinator, and then Dr. Faisal KP for having provided this great opportunity to connect with the galaxy of intellectuals who have joined this program. So we were discussing about higher education, and then on the other hand, how it is going to be beneficial for the society if we raise the quality, if we raise the status of higher education in our own country. Definitely our society is going to be improved in terms of inequality. Means inequality is going to be raised, even poverty is going to be dealt with, even unemployment is going to be sorted out. So everything, as we say that education is considered to be a panacea, education is considered to be a very important tool through which we can convert our society into a progressive society, peaceful society, a stable society. So thank you so much indeed. So now it's your turn to ask the question. Yes, please. I'm expecting questions. I'm expecting. Thank you so much for your encouraging remarks. But it would be so happy. I would be so happy if you also ask some of the questions or your observation. Yes, please. अब तो open कर दीजिए video. Kindly put your video on, please.
Good
Yeah.
evening, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Good evening. Walaikum assalam. Walaikum
Sir,
assalam.
Mehnaz Jan from J&K as AP.
Oh, great,
Sir,
great.
So my
Yes.
question is that there is a paradox. On one hand, governments trying to achieve high quality education and universalization of education. But on the other hand, we are handing over our various sectors in the hands of private owners due to the introduction of privatization since 1991. Faculty there is not highly educated in case of private sectors. Less faculties there, fake degrees are being provided from there. As in case of public sector, we have high qualitative educators. But due to this handing over this responsibility towards that, as in case of public sector, then how this high quality education will be achieved in future?
Let me try to answer your question. Very beautiful question. You have a very pertinent question you have raised. I think on the part of government, this is not my, I think, my approach. This is not my viewpoint. But government has the other kind of, I think, problem that they have the. I think government has the own argument that whatever the institutions are available, these are not adequate enough unless until we are going to have the global, I think, private partnership. The very purpose or the requirement of the nation is not going to be fulfilled. So what is basically they have extended their own argument. But you are right that it's a paradox, and paradoxical situation is there, because we are not spending adequate amount. Means public expenditure is going to be listened every year. I think it is being curtailed every
Exactly,
year.
sir.
That is the very bad part, and that is the very sad part, and that is also the very discouraging kind of things. But here, ours is a country which is called as a democratic country. So unless until we all should come forward and give our own argument, logic, because logic, argument, research, I think this is also very, I think it would be well taken by the society, because everybody, of course, a state is one of the important tools, no doubt about that. But in democracy, I think everybody is government is accountable to the society. Government is accountable to the people. So we could think this issue into the larger picture. So unless until, see the case of national education policy, so it is appreciated, it has been recommended many important points. So we as a very important stakeholders and a very conscious citizen of this great nation. So how we are going to deal with, how we are going to, so whatever we can do, we should do it. And how many of us are studying this issue that government should raise their status, and what are the best practices which is happening in anywhere of the any part of the world. So we should adopt it and we should give the recommendation. So if we are going to come out with our own input, definitely it will have the positive policy implications. So this is what I would like to suggest, that yes, we all are equally important, in the sense that public, everybody is accountable. Every institution is accountable. Government is accountable to the public. So how we can make the government or the state accountable? Because we all are working, and they all are the, I think, agencies which are very important. Government is there to ensure quality, for the development of the nation, for the growth of the nation, in order to eradicate the poverty, in order to deal with the poverty of the nation. So here, how we are going to make the state or any stakeholders, the society, accountable. So here we all are interdependent. Everybody interdependent. Nobody has the absolute power. I think we basically elect the state. We basically elect the government. So here that is very important. And here, let me tell you that the role of the teacher, the role of the faculty is really very important. So how we are going to play our role is again very important, and we should play our active role. Of course, we are playing, but much more is required. As I said, that destiny. I mean, we are going to see our country as a developed nation. So not only a state, not only government can do it. We all need to do, and we all work in this direction common. So nobody can deny this fact. We should remain as a developing country. So goal is important, vision is important, objective is important. Aims and objectives should be taken into account. So, as an individual, as a nation, as a very important stakeholder of higher education, we need to see, and things will change, and things are changing in the positive direction. This is also true. We are not going in the regressive manner, but we are there. If you see the time before independence, just after independence in 50s, 60s, 70s, so we have made much headway. But I think in order to catch up with the fast changing scenario, or in order to take our nation, our society at par with the other developed nation, I think we need to do. We as a teacher, a government as a government, or some top level management at a top level. So every stakeholder needs to work in this area, in this the job of the policy maker is to formulate the national policy. So, and it has already been implemented. So we need to facilitate. Nobody is stopping us, and nobody. I think we all need to study deeply, critically, analytically, and put our ideas forward so that it could be helpful in order to implement these policies, so that our country can shine. Our country can be taken at the higher pedestal. Many dichotomies there, no doubt about that. But we should not lament, rather we should play our proactive role. And here is an opportunity. This kind of opportunity has been given by our own society. So we are basically belonging to the very minuscule sections of our own society. You all know that 185 billionaire, trillionaire are there. They are holding 40%, 40.1% of the wealth. See, rest of the 60%. See how we are going and moving in the direction of the society, means there is a lopsidedness. So when we talk of the inclusive growth or the progress, so how it will be possible? So I think, see how rich they are. So 40% means two-fifth, two-fifth of the capital, or the money, or the income is are in the hands of 185 only billionaire, trillionaire Indian. So I think we need to see all these things. And here, why I'm pointing out that society is expecting a lot on the part of the teachers, on the part of the intellectuals, on the part of the intelligentsia, to which we all are the part, and we belong to
So
the.
can we say that there should be government regulated private sector so that they will
No,
act?
regulation is there. How that regulation could be made stronger? I think again, we as a teacher, we as a practitioner, need to come with our own idea. Regulation is there. All these private sectors or private universities are regulated by University Grants Commission. There's no any kind of distinction. It is they don't have free hand. They need to follow the regulation provided by the University Grants Commission or the Ministry of Education. We all know that. I think, and again, foreign universities have been regulated, is going to be regulated. Unless until we regulate, I think bogus universities are also existing in the foreign country. So if good university, excellent universities are going to come to our own country, they definitely we will have a very healthy competition, and we are going to be benefited. But if the bogus universities are going to come, I think there will be a serious problem. So there would be some sort of regulation, and definitely, unless until we as a teacher, we as a practitioner come with our own ideas, with our own input, definitely our input would be valuable. It would be taken into consideration to move by the government, by the policy makers, who basically become the part of the any committee and commissions. If you see the total, I think number members of the higher, I think this National Education Policy Formulation Committee, I think many teachers were there. Many teachers like us were the part of that one. So scientists headed by the scientists, we all know that. So we are basically, we get the chance, and we have been troubled to become the part of committee and commissions member. So if we are educated, if we understand the issues, definitely our country would be taken into the into the right direction. So
Sir,
yes, yes.
sorry to interrupt you, sir. May I ask a question about this point? What were you are discussing now? Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you.
Just I want to know. That's why
Hmm.
this whatever is going on. I am saying that public sector and private sector about education. So,
Mhm.
sir, education is a concurrent under concurrent list, no, sir?
Yes, yes.
Then both can conduct private and public both can conduct, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, but madam, whatever she said is also right.
Hmm.
Private sector can be regulated by the public,
No,
by the government.
I think private universities sector is regulated by government. It is regulated. I think we cannot say
Yes,
that it
yes.
is not regulated. So it is regulated, but the serious problems are also there. They are not regulated as the public university is regulated. So there's a different kind of what we call indicators are there. But by and large, so why? Basically, in democracy, many sectors, many stakeholders are there. So we all are interdependent. So we work interchangeably or interdependently also. So here we cannot say that nothing, nobody has the free hand in the sense that we need to play with certain rules and the regulations. And it is also said that these private sectors are also contributing, no doubt about, because it is the need of the country to enhance or to provide education to everybody or to the majority of the population. For massification of education, which was elitist initially before independence, for making the education mass based, it has become the need of the day to take private bodies or the private institutions into the consideration. This kind of not excuse, I think argument has been put forward by the government or the state. And it is in the current, see, when the situation of the state funded universities were not good, I think many movements were launched, like Rashtriya Uchta Shiksha Abhiyan. So a lot of money a state university would have got in order to make the university strong in terms of the fund, in terms of infrastructure. So this kind of effort is there. So we even government is not sitting idle. See, NIRF ranking and then NAC, why these bodies are there? So that we can understand our shortcomings. Once we understand our shortcomings, our failure, I think problems or the limitations, we will be able to remove, or we will be able to sort out. We will be able to, if some universities are running shortage of funds, on account of the shortage of funds, university is not doing well. So what are the mechanisms? So these are the mechanisms to understand the shortcomings and the limitation of the university or the colleges. So once we understand, definitely we will provide the possible solution and the remedial measures. So even government is doing, so we all should do it. And of course, ours is a country which is the young in the sense that 75 years. So 75 years in the history of any nation is not very, I think what we call it, not long. So we need to work, and we should not also be, I think what we call it, patient. We should also become very alert in order to develop our own economy, society in the right direction. Is sustainability of development, is sustainable kind of development. When we take the inequality of gender, when we take the social equity into the consideration or into the center stage, then we can think of a equitable society or the inclusive based society, which would be based on peace, stability. If any kind of regress is there or some sort of issues are there, I think only by statistical enhancement the things are not going to move in the right direction. Means only 20% from 25 gross enrollment from 25 to 50 and 50 to 75. Why we are saying, let me tell you at the end is, if you see the gross enrollment ratio of developed countries, I'm giving you some data. In case of the United States of America, it is estimated to be in the range of 85 to 90% gross enrollments. It is the developed country. If you take the European Union as a whole, all these societies or the countries, here again 60 to 70%. In case of Germany, 70 plus. In case of United Kingdom, 62%. In case of France, 65%. So ranging from 60 to 70. And again, in case of C, in our own Asian country like South Korea, it has crossed 90, means 94, 95% gross enrollment ratio is there. So when we talk of Vikshit Bharat, when we talk of the developed nation, I think this quantity, I mean, this statistical quantity becomes important. But not only this, within that, unless until we consider, means only by few, if we are going to increase. So what will happen to the village people or the village, the people who are residing in? What will happen to the 50% of the population, to which we say that the women? What happened to the people who are excluded from the society? Means we our policy would be formulated in such a way that we can include each and every left out social category into the mind. So that would be the aims and ultimate aims and objectives of any society. So is the case of our own society. Yes, please. Anything is left, please let me know.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Good evening to everybody, sir. This is Manzoor Ahmed Mir from Jammu and Kashmir.
Oh, great. Tell me.
Sir, it was a wonderful presentation, sir. I just have one or two observations to make, and I'd like to hear your take on them, please.
Definitely, I will do that.
First, as I was saying, I'm from Jammu and Kashmir, and we have already seen, sir, 3 batches of 4-year undergraduate program, having had the taste of this NEP 2020. Now, as you were saying that NEP wanted to ensure flexibility in the courses offered in higher education institutions. Sir, earlier under the CBCS pattern, our college, I'll talk about my college, sir. Our
Okay,
college,
please, please.
it used to offer 5 subjects. But now, after the implementation of NEP, the choice has been reduced to just 3 major subjects. So, with the results of the student enrollment has gone down, which again goes against the promises of NEP. And then you might have heard that the National Testing Agency, that NTA, it's taking, sir, a lot of time in getting the students admitted, sir. So we have, I'm the coordinator admissions of my college, and it's been almost 2 months, and we do not know how much time it is going to take the admission process. So, what's your take, sir?
Okay.
Were we actually ill prepared, and should we have waited a little more for the implementation of the policy so that it could have been, implemented in its true spirit?
Mazhar, it is already 7:08. Please be precise.
Sir,
Okay, I will be very precise and candid while answering. I think you see, the system to which we were having had failed. So it did deliver the goods. So we have come with a new kind of policies. In principle, if you see, I think it would be good, and of course it has its own limitation and demerits also. But how we can ameliorate, how we can improve the, I think the document basis on
Mhm.
your own empirical evidence. I think this is also very important. But if you see the spirit of this national education policy, I think it is formulated in such a way that it would cater the needs of each and every section and every part of the country. But a limitation would be there. And when we say that it is going to be implemented or it has already been implemented, a lot of issue will crop up. No doubt about that. So we are experimenting. Some problems would be there, but let us try to evolve that. Take this policy in the right spirit, in the positive spirit. I think it will bring a positive dividend. Let me tell you. So we should also wait. When the semester system was introduced, I still remember at that time lot of resistance, and we had the same kind of argument that it is not going to work. So if you see the philosophy and I think even in the other kind of things, I think it is going to, because the thing or the system to which we had in the past was not working. that that had failed. So we need the other kind. We need this kind of I think policy. If we are going to do that, and there would be some rectification on the basis of your own experiences. So whatever you are failing, whatever you are observing, experiencing, the same should be forwarded to the policy making, to the body, and you can discuss. I think using wisdom is also very important at the university level, at the national level. I think this is how to make this policy or this document implementable. So already it has been, as I said, that it has already been implemented. But how to make it implementable, it depends on the academia, at the local level, at the national level, at every level. Then I think things would go in the positive direction. So let us wait and let us think about, let us act positively or think positively. I think the results would be positive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
I
you
think
so
let's
much.
stop here. It's almost now 10 minutes past now, after 7.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you, Anish sir. It was very wonderful, very
Thank you
insightful
so much.
lecture. On
Thank
behalf
you
of
so much.
everyone here, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for your insightful session on society and higher education during the training program. So you touched on a wide range of critical aspects, including issues of inclusion, the challenges posed by globalization and the implication of privatization, higher education, etc. So your expertise and thought-provoking perspectives have certainly broadened our understanding and deepened and our appreciations of these complex issues. So once again I express my thanks to all the participants here who have been actually putting questions and also interacting with our resource persons. So thank you all. So let's meet again on Monday now, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.